to support their favorite charities. I think that remains a really important, really important in our community. And we saw that when those were the dollars that could be most readily deployed to support community in this crisis.
Do you think it's possible that any one of us have not been touched by a not-for-profit organization?
Oh, no. It is. I mean, it's the fabric of community. And I mean, this pandemic has so demonstrated that to us, right? Whether it's, someone whose child can't join the soccer league this summer, right? To, someone who can't visit their public library, or, through to those who need the soup kitchen to be functioning, who need counseling and support services, who are dealing with challenges in their lives. Or, one of the organizations that pivoted really early in this was Battered Women's Support Services. And, moved from an organization, it's a 40-year-old organization that's provided support services to women through groups and one-to-one work, for decades, and suddenly couldn't do that anymore. So moved to overnight to a 24-hour crisis line that could be accessed by all the technology that we have, and spent all of their time and resources getting the word out and raising awareness around the fact that women had lost their safety avenues during this crisis, couldn't go out to work, couldn't take their children to school, couldn't have those avenues where they might be able to seek some safety. So I think everyone, from those who are dealing with those kinds of really tragic circumstances in our lives to those who are looking for an opportunity to listen to a concert. This is all the community sector, and it touches all of our lives.
What haven't we talked about that we should be talking about?
I think probably I should be talking more about the other piece that's emerging from this, our response to COVID and what's been happening in the pandemic, is the inequities that exist in our society have been brought into even greater relief, right? Like, we can see it more. We've seen the consequences more. And so, I think it is, all of us are now trying more than ever to try to understand how we continue to either support that inequity or challenge it. And that is true, I think, in the across the community sector as well. I see many organizations trying to understand where their work falls on that spectrum. Are we reinforcing things, or are we starting to challenge that change? Within the philanthropic side of things, the world of foundations, those conversations have been going on for some time now. Central City Foundation is a settler community organization. We understand that. We understand that the wealth of the world effectively has been built on stolen land and stolen people. And how do we begin to reconcile that? And how do we begin to understand our stewardship community asset in a way that truly starts to address inequity, not reinforce it? And I know that in many places are having that conversation with others, whether it's we're members of the Circle on Philanthropy and Aboriginal peoples, where that conversation is happening. And it's happening in a lot of different places in a lot of different ways, where we're starting to having more of those conversations. And I think that is the piece that will lead us to real change eventually.
Jennifer, I really want to thank you for your time. I know how precious it is, and I really appreciate this conversation. If people want to find out more about the Central City Foundation, we can find you online?
Yes. Yeah. And it's centralcityfoundation.ca.
Okay.
And there will be a new website coming soon. It's not new. We'll have a refreshed one coming soon.
You sound excited.
We all have to do. I am. I think it looks more like us. So I'm excited about that. And I appreciate very much this opportunity to have this conversation. An in-depth conversation like this always gives me an opportunity to reflect and to sharpen my thinking around what we're doing and how we can do it better. So I appreciate this very much.
We've been speaking with Jennifer Johnstone, who is the president and CEO of the Central City Foundation. If you'd like to find out more about the work they do, just visit them at centralcityfoundation.ca. That's another edition of the Conversation Lab. This radio program and podcast is produced by CFRO FM in Vancouver's downtown east side on the territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. Our gratitude and thanks to them, as well as the many not-for-profit organizations and community groups for their support. If you enjoyed this program, please consider becoming a member of Co-op Radio to help support programs like these. If you know anyone or an organization with a story to share, please let them know about us. We can be found at coopradio.org, theconversationlab.ca, and on many social media and podcasting platforms. Kimit Sekon, John Massacar, and Julian Anton have helped produce this program. Thanks, guys, and thank you for dropping by the Conversation Lab.